So, y'all know this is a quick weight update. Your girl was able to drop a couple lbs. I'm back down to 138.6. Previously, y'all, you know I was at 142.8. You know, I got down to 140.8. Either way, I was able to drop those lbs. Okay, and a lot of that was attributed to, of course, you know, me taking my once a month Zepbound injection. I'm 2 weeks in now, you know, so far. I knew that it was going to immediately be like an inflammation decreaser. So I knew I was going to end up losing anyway, especially after all of that release I had, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, check out, you know, the recent videos on the crazy work that Zepbound gave me, okay? I said after that release, I knew I was going to be some pounds down. And here we are. I am definitely pounds down. Touch real quick on suppression. Suppression is really, you know, status quo. It's where it needs to be. You know, it's not too much and it's not too little. I'm like right in the middle. It's not something that bothers me, so it's not really much that I measure because I don't even really have food noise. I'm learning how to deal with, you know, my hunger cues, and I go with that. And if I have a craving to eat something, I eat it, but I eat it in moderation. And then, you know, I have a safe food list. That's like a key to maintaining your weight anyway. How you think, you know, the slimmies maintain they slim? You know what I'm saying? It's not deprivation constantly. You just have a safe food list. Foods that you know that you can eat that has the right amount of macros, the fiber that's going to keep you satiated. Okay? Keep you full longer, you know. Be lean, as far as lean protein, lower in fat. And then, you know, accommodate into some of your cravings as well on that list. So you know the foods on your safe food list, if you overindulge in some of them, that you're not really going to experience a major incline in lbs from that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important. Eating the same types of foods. And that's what a lot of people do, slimmies, to maintain their weight. And people wonder, well, how do you just stay slim? Sometimes it's not just a natural thing of just having a high metabolism. Often these people strategically eat certain type of foods, and they are intermittent fasters. Most of the time they don't eat breakfast. If they do, they're probably drinking a protein shake. You get what I'm saying? But then they're skipping lunch, and then they're only eating dinner. Like, that is the case for most of slimmies, the slim girlies, okay? Like, the idea of weight management is intermittent fasting, lean protein, fiber, and dark chocolate. No, for real though. Like, cutting into the sweet thing, fruit and dark chocolate. Like, that's a part of my main indulgent list. Like, my food list is the high fiber. I eat the same things, okay? I have the same type of proteins. My fish, my tofu, other soy. Stuff that's lean and lower in fat, because I want to watch fat. Because slim girlies, we're not trying to exceed 30 grams of fat a day. We're watching the fat count, because the fat accrue on you faster, okay? In my opinion, than the standard calories. The fat macros will creep up on you than the standard calories, and the fat macros are harder to lose than standard calorie macros, okay? You can burn calories faster from carbohydrates versus fat macros is harder. So, like, trying to keep that level of macro at a minimum is highlighted, especially for slim girlies maintaining their weight. Highlighted for me. I'm claiming myself as a slim girly because that's where I want to be, and that's where I'm going to stay, okay? I want to be slim. I personally want to be the 120 to 130 range, honestly. That's the range I really want to be in, but be fit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not on a cusp of going into a large or extra large. You get what I'm saying? I'm in a small and maximum a medium. I don't want to leave that bracket. So that's what I'm working on maintaining. That's my slim lifestyle. You know, everybody's desire for their body maintenance, their weight maintenance, or their body recomposition is different. For me, I know I like the slim fit aesthetic. And for me, I like the weight range of 120 to 130. You know, it gives you a 10-pound allowance. Because as you see, you're going to fluctuate 10 pounds. You see it in my data that I have. You know what I mean? Rather than me being 130 and I'm skating from 130 to 140. You know what I mean? I'd rather skate from 120 to 130. So that's a long-term goal for me. Not anything that I'm abruptly trying to do and drop a whole bunch of weight at one time. No. And in honesty, like once I do get my procedure with removing some of this fat, you know, from around my waist to a tummy tuck, that's probably going to remove, you know, maybe up to 5 pounds in itself too. So that's going to end up lowering my weight further. But my ultimate goal is to always maintain that weight range. So at some point I will get to that 120. I'm not pushing it, but in general, I'm just okay with, look, if it's going to be 130, it's going to be 130 until I can get it, you know, to 120. But at 130, you're not going past the 130, 140 range. You know what I'm saying? I'm working myself backwards to be 120 to 130. But currently, we ain't going past this 130 to 140 range. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm mentally at. It is 100% sustainable. Weight management is sustainable. But you gotta like put your little tweaks and twerks in it as you go. And I'm looking forward to dropping a couple more pounds as the months go on, honey. Because like I said, I eventually want to get to that 120, but not lose the velocity of my body in the process. So it's very key that I continue to maintain my weight training like I do, so I continue to have muscle gains and gradually burn fat to eventually get to that 120. So that's, you know, that's how the whole idea of body recomposition for me, for your girl Jazz. So that's why I'm at. I just wanted to chime in with a quick update since I did a recent weigh-in. You know, y'all know I went through a war with that first injection, okay, diarrhea and everything. It cleaned me out for 5 days. Out. So the results of that is your girl's down a couple pounds, but still feeling good, feeling great. No other side effects. That's all. None. It's dead. And don't got a lot of food noise going on. I have control. And that is one thing I really appreciate from this GLP-1 medication. It is put me at a level of control when you're at an appropriate dose and dosage schedule. Me once a month puts me in control. I was thinking that I might have to go up to bi-weekly, but honestly, now I don't think I will need to do that. I don't think I will need to do that. If anything, I might need to titrate up, but I hope to not have to do that. But still remain once a month. I want to still keep that once a month dynamic in place, because I think that's perfect for maintenance for me. I've been doing well so far just with the fluctuations of the 10 pounds, and that's just standard in maintenance, to be honest. So we really don't need to sound an alarm and panic, y'all. Just deal with the fluctuations and just make sure that you stay consistent on your routine and your macros and your calorie intake and your activity level, and just keep doing that over and over again. Redundancy is the key. See you in the next video. Be real.